Today on Channel 6 News at 5. Texas Today reporter Maria Aguilera is live from Odessa with the latest updates on this past weekend's tragic shooting. And this retail giant is making big changes, what will soon be disappearing from Walmart shelves coming up. Plus, after Hurricane Dorian devastated the Bahamas, where will the storm go next? Chief Meteorologist Andy Anderson is tracking Dorian's movements. Channel 6 News starts right now. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Imani Payne. Chris and Leslie have the night off. School is back in session in Odessa today after a holiday weekend tainted by a mass shooting. In all, 7 people were killed, including an area high school student. Channel 6's Maria Aguilera is in Odessa tonight and has more on how that student's classmates and even campuses around the area are dealing with the loss. Maria.
Imani, many are still dealing with the emotional effects after that deadly mass shooting here in West Texas. And as you can see behind me here at the district offices, flags are at half-staff for the lives lost, including one of their very own. Now, the district is working to help students through any trauma that they may now be facing. And earlier today, as students arrived back to school in the morning, many of them met around a tree for a memorial at Odessa High School. It was organized by friends of 15-year-old Layla Hernandez, one of 7 victims who died as a result of Saturday's mass shooting that left 25 others injured, including her brother. Students and staff wore yellow for hope and for the lives lost during the attack, while some wore green, Layla's favorite color. Her friends said they chose to do the memorial around a specific tree because it was her favorite spot on campus. And around that tree, students gathered to pray and share a moment of silence. And as the community of Odessa deals with this loss, students are being offered counseling. More than 100 counselors were made available to students throughout 40 schools in the Ector County School District, as well as therapy dogs. All teachers today began class by reading a script to students about healing and hope. And Nancy Van Lee, a director of counseling, says students were calm today, others in tears. But she says many may not have yet processed what happened in their community. She says the district has a lot of work to do as students deal with what happened over the weekend.
This was not an isolated event. It was, community-wide. And so it's been a very traumatic thing for us. And so we want to provide the kids that space to be able to grieve and be able to, they help each other.
The district says they know that this is just the beginning of the healing process, and they will have resources available for students as long as they need them. But for now, reporting live in Odessa, Maria Aguilera, Channel 6 News.
Thank you, Maria. New at 5, a big change is coming for Walmart. They will no longer carry handgun ammunition in its stores nationwide. This comes just 1 month after a shooting at one of its stores in El Paso. The store says it will stop selling short barrel rifle and handgun ammo after it runs out of inventory. The retailer is also asking customers not to bring firearms into the store unless they are law enforcement. Walmart will also stop selling handguns in Alaska, but will continue to sell hunting rifles and ammunition. Well, it's time now for a first check of our weather. Chief Meteorologist Andy Anderson is standing by with the details. Hey, Andy.
Hey there, Imani. We've got sunshine today, dry weather conditions. Humidity values are very low, and I'm about to show you why. There's a live look from the Standard Insurance Agency Skyline weather camera. We're in downtown Temple. Off in the distance, you see Scott and White, Santa Fe, Plaza area, a beautiful part of downtown Temple right now. Looking at fair skies here, but look at all this action going on down in deep South Texas and into northern Mexico. I was talking yesterday about this tropical wave. It's now been named Tropical Storm Ferdinand. Not going to be a threat to us here in Texas other than some pretty good rains south of Corpus Christi down into the lower Rio Grande Valley. Big rains for Port Isabel, Brownsville, Harlingen, even in as far as McAllen. What it's doing is pulling the moisture out of the atmosphere here locally. So it's going to be very dry. Once again, some spots this morning were down in the upper 60s. Maybe not quite that cool tonight, but very likely in the low 70s first thing in the morning. As we go through this evening, look for temperatures to cool down through the 90s into the low 80s and then eventually down into the 70s tonight. We'll have complete details of the forecast, including Dorian, and more on this tropical storm Ferdinand a little later in the news.
All right, thanks, Andy. Hurricane Dorian has weakened to a Category 2 storm, but is still beating down the Bahamas. The islands are reeling in the aftermath of days of destructive winds and flooding as search and rescue operations continue. The storm is beginning its track along the eastern seaboard, where evacuations are underway. Now, this is a live look from Daytona Beach, Florida, where the waves are starting to ramp up. Jamie Garola is in Florida with the latest on where Dorian is headed next.
More heartbreaking images from the Bahamas will resume tomorrow. In Pompano Beach, Florida, Jamie Garola, NBC News.
While covering Hurricane Dorian in Florida, one reporter got an up-close and personal look at the power of the storm. Meteorologist Jim Cantor with the Weather Channel was trying to bring viewers an oceanfront report on the storm when massive waves crashed over him, taking him out of view. At one point, he noted that he and his crew were out there in 50-mile-per-hour winds. Luckily, he and his crew are doing okay. Waco police are asking for help in the 5-year-old case of a missing Houston girl. Amira Diedrich was last seen in 2014, and now Waco police are interested in the girl's whereabouts. There are not many details in the case right now, but if you have any information, contact police. A 5-year-old girl was found dead inside a closet in northwest Houston. Family members were visiting the child's home and during the visit discovered the dead child in the closet. One thing investigators do know is that the girl's body was in that closet for several days. The girl's mother is being questioned by police. No arrests have been made so far. Tonight, a local pastor is thanking the community for helping to keep a Waco grocery store in business. Last month, Mission Waco pastor Jimmy Dorrell encouraged 100 middle-class people to shop at the Jubilee Market once a month. The market was opened 3 years ago to provide people living on fixed incomes with fresh, low-cost, and healthy food. Dorrell told us that sales this month were $6,000 higher than this time last year and the highest since the store opened.
And we were just overwhelmed with new customers who came over. I spent Saturday morning shaking hands and thanking people for being here. And they love the store, they love the product, and the costs were the same as other stores. And so we just had a great day, and we met our goal because of that.
Jubilee Food Market is located on North 15th Street. Dorrell says the nonprofit will be a break-even store by the end of this year. Still to come, is your kid's lunchbox kind of on the boring side? Well, if so, we have some ideas on how to make their lunch more fun and healthy. Plus, the latest on the California dive boat fire that left 34 people dead. Stick with us. Welcome back. 34 people missing in a California dive boat fire are believed to be dead tonight. Authorities now investigating the cause of the fire, the ship's captain, and the surviving crew.
The rescue mission is over. The divers in recovery mode this morning. For the answers, 65 feet below the surface. Jennifer Bjorklund, NBC News.
Still to come, Andy has a complete look at your forecast next.
Yeah, we're keeping an eye down in the Gulf of Mexico right now. We have our hurricane, and Friday night looks like it'll go off without a hitch, but it's going to be awfully hot. 100 degrees for a high on Thursday, 101 on Friday and Saturday, before we start seeing temperatures only making it into the upper 90s for Sunday, Monday, and mid-90s on Tuesday.
I bought all these sweaters for September and fall. And
I hope you got them in that peach color, because that is a great color for you.
Oh, thank you so much, Andy.
But yeah, it's hardly sweater weather just yet.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Well, still to come, parents deal with it all the time, picky eaters, but one teenager's pickiness left him blind. What doctors say happened next. Welcome back. Dietitians say that your child needs 4 things in their lunch: protein, grains, fruits, and vegetables. But making back-to-school lunches can get boring really fast. Hayler Hernandez tells us about a meal plan from Baylor College of Medicine to keep every week interesting.
Toasty Tuesday means your school lunch could be breakfast foods like these egg bites.
Egg, a splash of...
She says Fridays are a great and fun day to get the kids involved by maybe giving them the ingredients to put together their own pizza, a taco, or a quesadilla. Well, doctors in the UK say a teenager's poor diet caused him to go blind. The 14-year-old, described as a picky eater, went to the doctor complaining that he was tired. Blood tests showed he was anemic, and within 3 years he was deficient in many nutrients and had completely lost his sight. The boy admitted to only eating chips, French fries, white bread, sausage, and ham since elementary school. So it's important to always have a balanced meal. We'll be right back.